Good evening, you're watching Estuary TV News. Coming up, we investigate the future in Mablethorpe for businesses and how this hub can help. And it's big questions to little kids. And joining me in the studio is Tracy Todd to talk about a scheme to help people feel better about work. Welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Hugh Riches. First of all, it's over to Richard Morris for the news headlines.
Hello there. The government has provided £2.3 billion worth of funding to areas badly affected by flooding last year. The money will be used to improve sea defences across the UK, with £80 million being devoted to the Humber Estuary. That's the second largest single investment after the Thames defences in London. Steve Besant, the Liberal Democrat councillor for Grimsby's East Marsh, has been confirmed as the parliamentary prospective candidate for the party in the next general election in May 2015. Steve has lived in Grimsby for his whole life and the East Marsh area for more than 30 years. He's represented the ward since 2003. In Hull, as reported by Humberside Police, 5 people have been committed for trial for drugs and money laundering offences. All 5 have been charged with conspiracy to supply heroin. Other offences have also been charged to the individuals, including intent to supply Valium and cultivation of cannabis. All 5 have been remanded in custody until Wednesday, when they will make their first appearance in Hull Crown Court. A local organisation has given out their Young Apprentice of the Year award. The scheme has been running for 10 years and aims to recognise the best students who are up and coming in their fields of expertise. Yvonne Day of Coafley Fabricom UK said that this year was particularly inspiring as the award had been won by a female student, Chelsea Griffin.
I think it makes a lot of difference because it makes me recognised, and then it's good for when I go out. You meet young women because they're like, oh, women can do something. So I think it's quite good in every way, really. Helps me a lot. We had to make a lot of effort with your work from the start to the finish. But we had to take part in you get nominated by your supervisors and people at work that you work with from how you've done actually from day one.
It's an unbelievable achievement for the business as a whole. Chelsea has done a phenomenal amount of work to actually get to where she is now. So for us as a company, it's setting the standard for the future, and more professionalism needs to come through like this for our business.
That's all from me, and if you have any news stories for us, then please call us on Grimsby 31553. Bye for now.
Thank you, Richard. Home Start is a national charity that recruits and trains volunteers to support parents. From taking a child to the park for an hour or giving parents somebody to talk to, the charity concentrates on those who need support in their own homes, and in Hull, volunteers have been rewarded with a grand day out to meet the Lord Mayor. Dan Kemp reports.
Volunteers from Hull's Home Start charity have been given a chance to meet the Lord Mayor of the city, and she recognises the fantastic work they do.
I think really supporting families is really important, and especially we all have times when we need that little bit of extra help, don't we? So it's wonderful for the work that they do. They seem to enjoy the surroundings and the ambience. It's a beautiful, beautiful parlour, and I love to welcome people here.
And the opportunity to be invited into the Lord Mayor's parlour is one greatly received.
Well, I'm enjoying it tremendously, and I feel it a great honour to have actually been invited. I don't work hands-on for Home Start as the rest of the team do, but I'm here as the patron, and I've met the Lord Mayor quite a few times, and she very kindly asked if I would like to join the team, so I feel really privileged.
The value of volunteers can never be underestimated, and more are needed. They play an invaluable role in all forms of charity, but they are touching many lives in our area.
I would say come and have a chat to us and find out if it's for you. All you need is some form of parenting experience, be that as a parent yourself, or if you've been a foster carer or adoptive parent, or if it's something that you do for work in terms of a nursery setting or something like that. I can't tell you how nice it is, how much I love going to do the family reviews and finding out what it's meant to families to have volunteers. One of my families described it recently as she brought light through the door each week.
You're watching Estuary TV News. Coming up, the pupils of Paul Primary School near Hull star in Big Questions to Little Kids.
Where Paul Primary School.
And we join Dan Kemp for a roundup of the sport. I'm joined by Tracy Todd of Estuary Consulting, which seeks to promote business and career confidence by guiding people to align their aspirations and ambitions with the realities of the business world. The principle is that if work creates individual happiness, then happiness might create better work. A happily virtuous circle. Tracy, hello, many thanks for coming in. Just explain a little bit your principle of professional development, as it were, of aligning ambitions and happiness with work and career.
Well, I created this program because I believe everybody should live their dream life. That if they're passionate about what they do, then they will achieve it. And they will have all the employee traits that everybody looks for. So they will be ambitious, they'll be committed, they'll have drive, they'll have belief, and they will achieve.
And you've come up with a little design, a little diagram, which people can fill in to try to work out examine themselves, work out what their own qualities are or what their demerits are, and see what sort of direction they should be going in.
Yeah, as part of the PDM program, I don't know if you have the chart.
We might well.
But as part of the PDM program, the first stage is to look at things about yourself. So what were the things you like to do, the current things you like to do, what your values and principles are, what your passions are in life, and what you would dream of becoming. Even though a lot of people will say, oh, you know, that you should just get on and work and make some money. I think if you can align those things, even if you're working to make money as well as working to achieve some of your dream, then you will be a lot happier in life.
So where did you come up with this idea? Where's the concept from?
Originally, I worked in Saudi Arabia. And I worked for a company, I was in a consultant company, and I worked for a national business that wanted to employ young Saudis. And very much similar to here, there's a lot of unemployment, and they were trying to bring Saudis who had no work experience into the business. So we set up a 3-month program, and as part of that, this was part of that program. But that was 5 or 6 years ago, and I'd come back to Britain, and I'd forgotten about this program. But then through some things that happened with my own family, with looking around, I decided to redesign it for this culture and for people that were not only unemployed but had lost direction.
So what you take this diagram, this is perhaps a bit simplistic, you enter in what you think your qualities are, what your qualifications are, what your skills are, and what your hopes are. And out of that, that equation, as it were, comes out the other end what you should be.
Well, at the end of that, you eventually have a really very simple vision statement, and you state quite, clearly, this is what I want to be. But then from that, you don't just leave it there, because doing that, people can walk away and say, okay, well, that's nice, but let's not do anything with it. You actually have a plan. You must plan to do something every month to achieve that. So there is a long time of planning, achieving, follow-up in order to make sure that happens.
Isn't this quite deterministic then? You're sort of born with certain characteristics, certain talents and abilities, certain things that you're not so good at, and that will define what you must be. That it sort of takes out the act of free will, doesn't it? You can't make that selection for yourself. You're destined to be one thing or another by the characteristics
Not
in
at
which
all.
you're born.
Not only, people change. So I'm running this program at a school, as well as for people who are between 20 and 30. And at different stages in life, you change. It doesn't mean because you start when you're young thinking this, that life takes you in a different direction. You can do it again. You can say, okay, that was my life then, but now this is my next challenge.
And what happens if you put in all that data about yourself, that self-examination, and out the other end pops the answer, well, you're no good at anything. Give up.
Never happens.
It's pointless. Just tell us about you're approaching this with employment and business startup operations around here in this region, aren't you?
Yes.
Just tell us very quickly a little bit about
that.
Well,
they're running a pilot for their own staff.
Who's this?
eFactor.
eFactor.
And it's halfway through, going very well. I'm very pleased with the participants. And the idea is that when they finish this, they will be able to talk about it to other business people who work and who actually use e-factor.
And you've also taken your own advice
Yes,
in
I
that
have.
you've worked out what it is one of the things that you've always wanted to achieve, and you
Yes.
have achieved it. And if you may have a look, you've written a book.
Yes. So you see, I have two passions. The programme, which I believe in absolutely, and I know it works, and I'm also writing.
Unscanned.
Yes.
And it's a novel.
It's a novel. It's aimed at, as somebody told me who read it, between 9 and 90.
Righto, well that's a good demographic.
It is, isn't it? That's excellent.
What's a just very quick sort of demographic? Is it a thriller? Is it an adventure story?
It's an adventure, general fiction or fantasy in the future.
And where's it available? Where can people get their hands on that book?
Amazon. You can get it on Amazon.
Amazon and in
Kindle and paperback. It's available. Yes.
Possibly in bookshops as well.
Soon, actually at Waterstones, very soon.
Okay. Tracy, thank you very much. Well done for taking your own advice. And good luck with the book and good luck with the programme.
Thank you very much.
Lincolnshire has always been at the heart of agriculture in Britain, but now the county is experiencing its own technological revolution. Lincolnshire now becomes home to an increasing number of technology hubs which offer local businesses and school children the chance to use brand new technology. Dave Nunn went to the opening of Mablethorpe's technology hub.
Mablethorpe is a place you'd associate more with donkey riding and sandcastles, not state-of-the-art tech. But as the digital economy gains momentum, that's set to change.
Well, Mablethorpe is important to us. It's an area of deprivation on our coastline. We've got real challenges in this town, and we felt that Mablethorpe would really benefit from having this kind of opportunity for its businesses and for its young people to learn about technology and how to apply it in a business model for the future.
It's part of a big push in investment from Lincolnshire County Council to build several technology hubs in towns such as Mablethorpe and Louth. These hubs house state-of-the-art technology such as 3D printers and Oculus Rift virtual reality kits.
Well, what we have with the technology hubs is not just an opportunity to try equipment. We give businesses free 12 hours of business support using technology, and that is really, really good because they can come in, they can sit and learn, and they can actually go out of here actually being able to apply that technology to their business. And that for me is the most important bit.
The centre has already been a success, winning the Next Generation Award for the unique educational benefits the hub brings to school children. The pioneering technology in the centre reflects the overall aim of these technology hubs.
Absolutely. I would encourage all businesses to be 22nd century as soon as possible. You know, at the end of the day, I had my first laptop and I was doing emails in 1983, way ahead of most people. And you know, that is where we've moved to. And this kind of cutting edge stuff will be normal within 3 to 5 years in my view. And the more we use it and the more we apply it, the more benefits there will be for society.
Times have been changing in Lincolnshire as the digital economy begins to expand. Traditionally, tourism and farming define this economy, but it seems that technology will be a major player in the years to come.
And now it's over to big questions to little kids. This week it's the pupils from Paul Primary School near Hull answering the question, is there life beyond Earth?
We're Paul Primary School. Do you think Earth will ever make contact with other beings?
Yes, because in the newspaper it said that they've sent a robot up to Mars, and they've been trying to get contact back, and they haven't got any contact yet.
Because, like Russell said, I don't think that we're the only people on Earth.
Yes, because same with Emily, because if we're looking for them, they might come looking for us, and then we might end up meeting somewhere between the Earth or the Moon or another planet.
Well, yeah, because they've made some films about them and then they've called them aliens, and how would they get them names? How would they call them aliens if they didn't exist?
Not really. I think they're a lot smarter than us, and they'll be able to avoid us no matter what we throw at them.
Yes, because
you never know who else might be out there, because they might be trying to look for us and we might be trying to look for them.
Thank you to the pupils of Poole Primary School, and next week we'll feature pupils from Barton Church of England Primary School. Joining me again this week is Councillor Paul Vickers from Barton Town Council, who will, I hope, tell us what's happening in the town. So Paul, thank you for talking to me today. You know the name of the feature. What's going on in Barton?
Lots and lots going on. Shall we have this conversation last week? It was the Christmas festival on Saturday, just gone, and it was fantastic. We had the real reindeer, Father Christmas, we had a successful light switch on. So when you're next in Barton, you'll see the Christmas lights and the tree. It looks fantastic. We've also got our town council meeting on Wednesday at 7 o'clock at Baysgate House Museum. We've got some interesting topics for discussion on there. What's happening? We've got the Carnival Committee coming to talk to us about bringing back the Carnival, which we've not had for a long time. So hopefully, if this group can bring the Carnival back for Barton next summer, that would be fantastic. So they're coming to explain a bit more to us. One of the big ones, our secondary school, Baysgarth, is due for a brand new school rebuild. And the consultant's going to come to talk to us about the plans there, which are exciting. We're also looking to locate a skate park on the site. We've also got a vision with the head and the council to look at maybe using Baysgarth as a bit of a sports village to incorporate hopefully a 3G pitch if funding successful, and with a consultation, if that goes well, hopefully a skate park.
And how close are we to seeing that school rebuild?
Plans should go into Northamptonshire Planning Department this month or early in the new year, and I think they're hoping to start building March, April, May 2015. Obviously, see the full rebuild, I guess we're looking sometime back end of 2016. But the school, it'd be fantastic for the children to have a new school out of there. And if we can develop this vision between ourselves and the governors and the new head of Sports Village Incorporated on the site while it's being rebuilt, that would be fantastic. So optimistic. We've got a presentation with the FA on the 12th of December to go through what we would like to do and explain the vision. Hopefully there could be some funding available there.
And going back to the Carnival, what will it take to get that back, and how long's it been missing?
It's been missing for years. Barton Town Council do a summer event, Picnic in the Park, which is nice, but the Carnival was always a much bigger event. I remember being on the floats and the parades that they used to go on with the Carnival. It was great. It's great to have a group of people who are focused on trying to achieve this. It's early days for them. I was speaking to them a couple of weeks back, and they're busy trying to get sponsorship, which I think a few of the businesses are looking to support them with. They're coming to tell us the plans on Wednesday. So hopefully, if they can do that, and if the town council will help, and things, that could be a big event on the map for next summer.
I'm afraid we're running out of time a bit, Paul, but is there anything else you want to mention quickly?
Just a couple of things. It's the just a bit closer. Then it's the Baysgarth House Museum's Christmas Fair this Saturday between 10 and 3:30 at Baysgarth House Museum. And if you're into football, Barton Town All Boys kick off 3 o'clock against our local rivals, Bridlington. So that'll be a massive game. And obviously, I just encourage any of you people who watch the show, come and see Barton. So we've got the Water's Edge, the Rope Walk, the Farming's National Nature Reserve, and the Baysgarth House Museum. And the Water's Edge just incorporated a brand new tourist information centre.
Right, it's over to Dan Kemp for the sport.
In Rugby Union, Hull Ionians battle hard to gain a 36-17 victory over Luctonians in National League 2 North. Luctonians led 12-3 after 10 minutes, but Ice took charge thereafter, running in 4 tries without reply before half-time. Alex Torkington opened the scoring in the corner before Adam Thomas went over with this neatly worked try. Chris Reeks scored the third before Joe Barker powered through on the stroke of half-time. Ionians remain as league leaders. Hull RUFC, on the other hand, suffered a heavy 67-3 defeat at home to second-place Ampthill District. The side were without 5 regular players for what was one of the club's heaviest defeats in recent years. Hull sit 14th, 2 places from the bottom of the division. On Friday night, Grimsby boxer Kevin Hooper defeated Neil Hepper on points. The 60 points to 56 success at the Doncaster Dome means Super Hooper's record now stands at 16 wins and 3 defeats from his 19 bouts. And finally, the draw for the first round of the FA Trophy was made yesterday. Both Grimsby Town and North Ferriby United will play sides from their respective divisions. The Mariners travel to Nuneaton, who sit at the opposite end of the Conference Premier table, and the Villagers host Boston United. Both ties will take place on Saturday, December the 13th. And that is all for the sport.
Thanks very much, Dan. Just before we go, a few more words from my guest, Tracy Todd. Tracy, your personal destiny map, how can people get involved? Where can they get this equipment?
They go online, I have a website, Estuary Consulting, or they can contact me through eFactor. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. That would be okay too.
And what sort of people is it aimed for? What sort of people should be using this sort of thinking?
I'm using it at the moment for people who are 12, people between 21 and 30. So it's really for people who have lost direction for whatever reason and would like to know which direction to go in.
And you say it's from people who are 12 to people through their 20s.
Yes, that's right. But I also ran it for people who are 40 and 50.
So it's if people are thinking that they've spent half of their lives going completely the wrong direction.
That's right, and I have, and very recently I ran it for somebody like that.
So if I wanted to suddenly become a fireman or the leader of a small African country, this is the way to do it.
This is the programme for it, yes.
Okay, and you've given us those details. Have you got any great success stories?
Well, in England...
Just very quickly, yes or no?
Yes, of course I have, yes.
You have. Thank you very much, Tracy. That's all we have time for. Please join me tomorrow evening when my guest will be Pippa Curtin, here to talk about the Youth Parliament. Contact us in the usual ways. If you have anything for us, please email news@estuary.tv or contact us through the social media, Twitter or Facebook, or call 01472 315561 or the number on the screen. For now, goodbye.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Wednesday will change from a frosty start to a dry day with sunny spells, although cloud will increase later in the day. Maximum temperature 7 degrees. There will be some brightness on Thursday with dry and chilly weather. Maximum temperature 8 degrees.